All right, this one will probably be a two-part series. Basically because this piece right here, I truly believe whoever drew up these very nice pictures, they probably sit behind a desk and they never touched the actual car. They never assembled the actual car. They never felt it in their fingertips. They never held any of the parts in their hands. They probably saw it walking by their desk one day. They probably saw this finished assembled car. So with that being said, I would say that you need a high mechanical aptitude for building this particular model just simply because this instruction book. If you don't have a high degree of mechanical aptitude, if you haven't been fucked up already, this one right here will probably fuck you up. Because it's not very clear what's actually going on. See, they show the picture, which is fine, like that. You see the little nubs coming down right there? That looks like that, right? That looks like those, right? Well, there's another piece. If we go to the original building, where is it? Oh, right here. If we go to the original building, so we got our nubs pointing down. We got the one and only large ball that's clearly labeled. That's sarcasm. That allegedly sits in there. Then it gets clamped in place through a plate, which is here. Right? But we have a tapered seat right there. So you can clearly see the tapered seat. So that tapered seat has got to sit that way. We know that 100% to be true and accurate. And we can see we have a tapered seat right there where the head of the ball should go. Okay, got that. So this guy right here, if we look at the way they're showing it here in the picture, this does not have a tapered seat on that side right there. See, that's flat. But if we turn it over to this side, it does have a taper in it. Looking at that big old massive hole there in the center. Right? So that would tell me that this is actually supposed to go like that and then clamp into place. That's how that would tell me anyway, but we'll see. Fucking pause button. So you have to use a mixture of your critical thinking skills. Maybe if you're lucky enough to run into my video. And a combination of reading, because whatever part number 16216, I know for a fact there's only one of them. We come over here, I'm guessing it's this one. And it's a TWS mic 00263. It's not even the same thing. It's like they pulled all this bullshit from something else, or they pulled this from something else. But there might be a secondary problem with this, because this chassis that you're looking at right here, there's actually another car that's made with this very same chassis, and it's a Formula One car. Right, so some of the wording, or the lettering, the numbering just doesn't jive, probably because they took, I don't know, maybe this is the Formula One side, and then this is the touring car side. I don't know what they did, or maybe this is a Formula One, and that's a touring car. That's probably why the numbers don't jive. Either way, somebody who sits behind a desk thinking they know, they don't know, right? So it says grease it, do not over tighten. This pivot ball should move freely. So I'm going to put a little lubricant in there. I'm going to clamp these two together. I'm going to try and find the two screws that belong to it and get that little piece assembled. So a little bit of logical reasoning. We need 2 pieces here. This is the number that's allegedly given, so I just cross-verify that none of these or any of these other numbers are the same, and so far not that I can tell unless I'm making a mistake. So now I'm looking for a quantity of 2. We got 1, we got 1, we got 2 pieces. It's not that. We got 2 pieces here. What is it? We don't know what's a 2 by 6 millimeter. That's probably it. And it's a flush set screw. We got an M3. That's probably too big. It's a pretty small hole. If we look at the little tiny hole next to that big one, it is pretty small. It's actually like be closer to an M2. So then we have 2 pieces of an M3. So pretty safe to say, the process of elimination and visually checking out what I have not sliced open with the razor blade, it's probably those 2 right there. You're going to have 2 bags on this particular one. Those are probably M3s. Those are not it. So this is probably a safe bet right there, those 2. Okay, so the nearest I can tell, this plate right here, this little one that you see right there, that little one, it actually sits on top and not on bottom like you see there. So it sits like this. All right, so that's how that's going to work, because then we're going to put a nut here and a nut here. Then that's going to clamp down onto the chassis like so. So if you're curious about this part, take a close look. That's how it's supposed to look. Make sure your pivot point rotates freely. I should probably used a little more grease than what I did. But there is that. And I think as long as this little part of video has been running on this one little fucking thing right here, that's a big fucking headache, I'm going to call it an end to this video and make a part 2 to bag F.